Well, what a firecracker of a contest we have here at the Allianz Arena. It's Bayern Munich who hold a 2-1 advantage after a very impressive performance at the Santiago Bernabeu, scoring 2 goals against Real Madrid's 1. What a time this is for Bayern Munich to put one over one of their European rivals in Real Madrid. The pressure is on Madrid, the 15-time champions, as Bayern Munich are one of the favourites to go all the way this season in the competition, expecting them to possibly find themselves in Budapest in May. But Real Madrid, they have everything going on in terms of their history about this competition and how they take this competition seriously. It hasn't gone according to plan in the league, but in the Champions League, Real Madrid are certainly
in Budapest
a different beast, and they will look to turn things around here in spectacular fashion, and they will need to be perfect here against Bayern Munich, who have been absolutely brilliant, top of the Bundesliga, and now looking to book their spot in the semi-finals, where Paris Saint-Germain awaits the winner of this contest. What a monumental semi-final that's turning out to be. But first things first, for these two teams, they'll have to get the job done here. Which one of these two clubs will get that nose in front? The first goal is going to be so crucial, that's for sure. We'll wait and see how this goes on. No away goals, mind you, as Bayern Munich scoring 2 away from home, as Florentino Perez is in the stadium here in Munich, as he'll hope that his side can turn things around here against the Bavarian Giants. It is a massive clash. I'll be keeping a close eye on what's happening in the other quarterfinals, that is between Arsenal and Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal, of course, pinched that late winner courtesy of Kai Havertz, who does not start today for Arsenal, but he is on the bench as Arsenal look to book their spot in the semi-finals and possibly face Atletico Madrid, who did the job against Barcelona in tremendous fashion, as Cholo Simeone hopes to break his duck with Atletico Madrid, getting his first Champions League trophy. Well, this is simply a massive game. I cannot wait for the start of this one. The stars are out. Manuel Neuer with the captain's armband for Bayern Munich. What a performance he had at the Santiago Bernabeu, rolling back the years with some tremendous saves, and now has an opportunity once again to lead his side into the semi-finals of the Champions League. These two sides have met each other on multiple occasions over the last few years. Real Madrid have gotten the better of Bayern Munich, but this time Bayern will start off as favourites. And of course, the two strikers today, Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane, well, both of them scored in the opening leg and now have an opportunity to try and undo each other here in the second leg in Munich. The stage is set here in Munich, and we're nearly there for the start of kickoff. Well, Bayern Munich not making too many. I think they've gone with the very same team that got the job done against Madrid in the first leg, with Manuel Neuer in goal. The back four of on the right, we've seen, I think it is Stanisic on the right. The two centre halves in Jonathan Tah and Dayo Upamecano. And in the left back is Konrad Laimer. The two midfield players in Joshua Kimmich and Alexander Pavlovic. And the front three, pacey, trickery, everything that you need with Serge Gnabry, Luis Diaz. Oh, Manuel Neuer has given the ball away, and it's a chance, and Real Madrid have the perfect start. Arda Güler out of absolutely nothing opens the scoring. Manuel Neuer gives the ball away inexplicably, and Real Madrid have the perfect start. What is it about this? Can you believe it? Manuel Neuer gifting it to Arda Güler, and Madrid have dreamland. Oh, can you believe this one? It has come out of the blue. It has come out of absolutely nothing. It is a terrific finish by Arda Güler. A back pass here to Manuel Neuer. Neuer, what have you done here? Inexplicable. Lovely finish by Arda Güler. And the Spanish Giants getting an absolute gift that Arda Güler accepts with both hands and fills the empty net. Nightmare there from Manuel Neuer. And Real Madrid have got parity. Oh, what a chance there for Harry Kane. What a start this has been in the match here. Kane nearly equalizes. Bayern Munich have to go again. Oh my word, there's been absolutely no time to settle in this contest. Bayern Munich have been hit. They have been shell-shocked here. Arda Güler and Brahim Diaz both getting the nods here by Arbeloa. My word, Bayern Munich, all that hard work of the first leg undone in the very first minute. And now it's level peggings. Which one of these two teams are going to take advantage of the situation here? And Bayern Munich are under real pressure now. Onto the right-hand side. Here's Kylian Mbappe. Shifts it again onto the right. Here's Mbappe again. What a gift that was from Manuel Neuer. All the praise for Manuel Neuer after that heroic first leg performance to chuck it away in that manner. What do you even say to the man who's been there, done that, seen it all, won all the trophies? And it's a gift. Arda Güler in the very first minute giving Bayern Munich that nightmare start. The aggregate now 2-2. Absolute parity now. Absolutely incredible. I mean, what do you even say about that, man? I mean, how could he just give the ball away there, Manuel Neuer? It's a shocking pass. And now Bayern Munich will have to do it all over again. They were absolutely brilliant for 75 minutes at the Bernabeu. They barely gave Madrid a kick. Yes, Madrid had a couple of chances on the counter-attack. But Bayern Munich will have to do it all over again. They have been hit with that early sucker punch as Dayot Upamecano feeds it onto the right-hand side. They'll have to pick themselves up here, Bayern Munich. There's no time to get into their shell here as Pavlovic now drives forward with the ball. And onto the left-hand side is Luis Diaz, who opened the scoring at the Bernabeu, and he gives the ball away. What a nightmare start this has been for Bayern Munich. And now Real Madrid are on the attack down the left-hand side. Here's Vinicius Jr. now. He's got plenty of company with him. Here's Vinicius Jr. looking to thread that through. Good defending there by Bayern Munich. Plenty of numbers behind as Dayot Upamecano strides forward with the ball. A lovely 1-2 played there on the occasion. Bayern Munich will have to quickly respond here. They've got enough firepower in terms of scoring goals. Harry Kane, Michael Olise, Serge Gnabry, and of course Luis Diaz is the front four. But Real Madrid gone very attacking themselves with Brahim Diaz now trying to just slip past Konrad Laimer on that occasion. I think the foul has been given on the Austrian there. He looks a bit mystified on that occasion, but Brahim Diaz just trying to turn away from the Austrian. Well, they've got Brahim Diaz and Arda Güler on the wings with Vinicius Jr. And of course Kylian Mbappe almost playing as a centre forward here. It is a nightmare start for Bayern. I mean, what do you even say to Manuel Neuer, man? It was absolutely no pressure on him to play that pass. Almost plays it blind and punished by Arda Güler. Fair play to the Turk who took it first time. Beautiful curl on it. And now they'll have to do it all over again as Joshua Kimmich clips the ball forward here. Good defending by Eder Militao. He replaces Dean Huijsen in the middle of the defense. He has Luis Diaz, pinches the ball away from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He has Luis Diaz, chops on his left foot. Good ball there as a corner. As Luis Diaz looks to rile up the crowd, so does Vincent Kompany. But Bayern Munich will have to pick themselves up again after 5 minutes. Vincent Kompany will have his hands in his head and try and not show any sort of emotion. But all that good work in the first leg immediately undone. And they'll have to go again. Well, Bayern Munich are certainly capable of this one. Paris Saint-Germain await the winner of this clash, which is going to be a titanic clash, regardless of which team does qualify for the semi-finals. Over 5 minutes on the clock as Luis Diaz delivers the ball into the box. It's a very good delivery that, and Bayern Munich do have the equalizer. Terrific header. It's Alexander Pavlovic, and what a start this has been to the game. 1-1 already with 6 minutes on the clock. Real Madrid got the opening goal courtesy of Arda Güler, and Alexander Pavlovic with a powerful header to give Bayern Munich the leveler. Oh, what a game this is going to be, man. It is going to be a Champions League classic. Andrei Lunin caught in no man's land by the looks of it. Pavlovic gets there first. This is a brilliant delivery here by Joshua Kimmich. He puts it on a plate. Oh, this is very, very poor from the Ukrainian keeper. He doesn't do anything there. He's caught cold. It's right on top of his head. Brilliant movement there by Pavlovic. He gets there first, and it's a comfortable header. He's right on the line. It's from unmissable range as Vincent Kompany can celebrate. I mean, talk about no caution in the game. How good must Manuel Neuer be feeling right now? His early mistake has been rectified within 5 minutes as Pavlovic gives Bayern Munich the equalizer. Well, we knew this was going to be a classic, but goodness me, this is out of control. It's outrageous. Alexander Pavlovich scoring his most important goal in Bayern colours. And we've got parity again as Kylian Mbappe down the right-hand side up against Jonathan Tah. This time we're expecting Manuel Neuer to find an accurate pass, and he does, finding the Frenchman there, Dayo Upamecano. Now on to the right-hand side. We'll talk about the game not having any time to settle in. This second leg truly has caught fire. Here's the Colombian here, Luis Diaz, on the left-hand side, up against his former Liverpool teammate, and Trent Alexander-Arnold drifts inside. Here's Harry Kane now, picks his head up to Kimmich. Everybody's queuing up here. It's a clever pass, but well intercepted there by Ferland Mendy. Well, Mendy displacing Alvaro Carreras on the left-hand side, who was absolutely drowning against Michael Olise. And now the two Frenchmen in Mendy and Olise will be going head-to-head on that left-hand side for Real Madrid as Olise goes for the strike. Good block there by Rudiger. Now on to the right-hand side for Stanisic. Bayern Munich again on the front foot here as Olise fades this towards the far stake. Luis Diaz tried to keep that in play, and he helps that right into the hands of Andre Lunin. 8 minutes on the clock, and it has been a firecracker of a start. Arda Güler and Alexander Pavlovich, two players we possibly didn't expect to get on the score sheet considering the firepower for both teams going forward. Harry Kane, Michael Olise, Luis Diaz, Serge Gnabry, and of course Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and the rest for Real Madrid as Vinicius Jr. commits a cynical foul there on Joshua Kimmich. Getting a quick warning sign there by the referee, making sure that he doesn't do anything foolish. Terrific. Absolutely terrific, this. Here's Pavlovich again, finding Michael Olise in the pocket in the number 10 position now. Shifts it onto the right-hand side. Dayo Upamecano entering the fray here on the right-hand side. Look at both centre-halves with a very aggressive position. Here's Stanisic. Joshua Kimmich finds Jonathan Tah. And now to the goal scorer, Alexander Pavlovich. He was literally a yard away from goal where Lunin did not cover himself in glory whatsoever. And on to the right-hand side, well defended there by Ferland Mendy. The midfield with no Aurelien Tchouameni and, of course, Eduardo Camavinga on the bench, which means that Real Madrid are playing a very attacking lineup with Fede Valverde and Jude Bellingham in the middle of the park. Jude Bellingham, when he came onto the pitch at the Bernabeu, looked absolutely awesome as Alvaro Arbeloa looks to manage his minutes after Jude Bellingham came back from his injury. 10 minutes on the clock, and it has been brilliant. Here's Gnabry now. Finds the goal scorer in Pavlovich. Güler scored in the first minute, Pavlovich in the 6th. This game is set up nicely as Bayern Munich once again regain the advantage on aggregate. Here's Jonathan Tah. Kimmich again. Konrad Laimer on the left-hand side. Well, fullbacks for both teams in the first leg really did struggle considering the firepower out in the wings as Luis Diaz is getting a lot of early touches down the left-hand side. Here's Kimmich now. Jonathan Tah finds Dayo Upamecano now. Upamecano picks his head up and feeds the pass onto the right-hand side. Good fade on it as Fede Valverde, the skipper, goes all the way back to Mendy and Lunin can clear. Bayern Munich just enjoying the early shade in terms of possession. Michael Olise feeds the ball back onto the central areas for Joshua Kimmich, who's running the show in the early stages. What a pass that is for Luis Diaz. Trent Alexander-Arnold gets there first, but Pavlovich mops up. Here's the Colombian again. What a signing he has been for Bayern Munich in terms of providing those clutch goals and that work rate down the left-hand side for Bayern Munich. Strong challenge there by Jude Bellingham, but it breaks kindly again. Look at Luis Diaz. Finds Harry Kane now. Back to Konrad Laimer. Here's Pavlovich. Kane again. Well, Kane's first half performance at the Bernabeu flattered to deceive, but scored 20 seconds into the second half after a fizzing drive. A shot that Lunin might have saved, but not enough in terms of the power in the wrist for the Ukrainian on that occasion. Well, no surprise that Dean Huijsen makes way for Ede Militao in the heart of the Madrid defense. Militao, Champions League winner under Carlo Ancelotti, as Kimmich plays a clever pass onto the left-hand side here. Here's Konrad Laimer. Harry Kane making the overlap. Ball across the face of goal. It's going to be another corner for Bayern Munich. Alvaro Arbeloa's side now being put under tremendous amount of pressure. Having scored the opening goal, they've barely ventured forward. The midfield not able to grab a hold of the game whatsoever. It's been all Bayern Munich in terms of possession, and they'll be so relieved that they got the equaliser on the night very quickly. Well, all eyes will be on Andre Lunin again here. Absolutely shocking for the opening goal. He needs to do better. Use that presence of his. He cannot be bullied as a goalkeeper. He needs to come out and claim everything, as Kimmich's delivery will be devilish, that's for sure. Jonathan Tah, Dayo Upamecano, Harry Kane, all the targets. Pavlovic, which of course will be one of them. Kimmich's deliveries are absolutely brilliant as he delivers that towards the front post again. Real Madrid just about managed to clear that. I think it might be another corner. Nope, it's just a goal kick. Well, with 30 minutes on the clock, this is a start that even the die-hard fans would not have expected. Real Madrid getting that shock early goal in the very first minute after Manuel Neuer inexplicably passed it straight into the path of Arda Güler, who took it first time. Such a composed finish from the youngster. Then Alexander Pavlovic getting the job done from a corner. Madrid need to keep hold of the ball here as Kylian Mbappe finds Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent goes straight up looking for Vinicius Jr. Oh, Neuer's come out a sweeper keeper and does very well. Ball recycled onto the left-hand side here for Bayern Munich. Good first touch there by Luis Diaz. Has to be careful before playing the back pass there. Vinicius Jr. doing the right thing in terms of just cutting out the passing lane. Here's Neuer. Again, it's a poor pass there by Manuel Neuer. Real Madrid secure possession again. Eder Militao has been caught here. Luis Diaz has been buzzing around. And now on the right-hand side, here's Michael Olise. And it's Luis Diaz with the strike. What a challenge that is. Eder Militao atones for his error. Supreme play there from the Brazilian. He'll suffer 2 ACL injuries in back-to-back seasons, the Brazilian. Now fit and raring to go again. It's another cross into the box. It's a strike! And it's over the crossbar, but the foul has been given on the Brazilian. Well, there's been absolutely no time to relax in this match. This challenge on the slide by Eder Militao was special. Militao, who lost that duel on the first occasion, did really well in terms of making amends. What a contest this has been, man. Absolutely brilliant. It's just been no time to relax. It's been high octane. I'm going to lose my voice if this continues. Well, it's still 0-0 at the Emirates. I'm going to certainly keep a close eye on what's happening at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal don't have to win, but they'll know that Sporting Lisbon will certainly prove a tricky customer. And considering Arsenal's form, 3 losses in the last 4 games, having lost 3 games all season prior to that, as Harry Kane goes for the big switch onto the right-hand side. Tries to wait that perfectly. Ferland Mendy has got the pace, and he can just shepherd that ball away out for a throw-in. Well, Mikel Arteta did talk about a lot of his injury issues that he did have. Declan Rice might have missed the game, but he is not taking any chances here. Mikel Arteta. Rice starts, and we'll expect Rice to start at the Etihad Stadium as well. On Sunday, we have an absolutely monumental clash in the Premier League. The top 2 teams, with very little to separate each other now, will be going head-to-head. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Very clever pass there for Brahim Diaz. There you have it, Real Madrid with 16 minutes on the clock with just the one attempt. That was in the very first minute. Since then, it's been all Bayern Munich in terms of attempt, possession, and control of the game. Jude Bellingham and Fede Valverde will certainly have to put a shift in the middle of the park for Real Madrid. Both not originally centre midfielders, but needs must, because Aurelien Tchouameni suspended for this clash and Camavinga on the bench. Lima with the throw-in. Here's Luis Diaz again. Put under a bit of pressure. Joshua Kimmich finds the goal scorer in Alexander Pavlovic. Now onto the right-hand side. Here's Michael Olise. He's up against his fellow countryman in Ferland Mendy. Here's Olise. Fades the ball in towards the box. Good defending by Trent. And Bellingham can clear. Well, Trent Alexander-Arnold keeping a close eye on the movement of Harry Kane. Harry Kane just peeling towards the back stick. Nicely done there by the defender, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who did put in that extraordinary ball across the face of goal for Kylian Mbappe to pull a goal back for Bayern Munich, for Real Madrid rather, in a point where Madrid were really dying out there. Here's Kimmich, finds Upamecano. Amount of chances that both teams did waste in the first leg certainly made it different. Kylian Mbappe tries to catch him at the near post. First real opportunity for the Frenchman. Again, makes the early run there. Good release of the pass here by Arda Güler, I think. Yep, Kylian Mbappe would have been deemed offside. And that's the kind of run that Kylian Mbappe will have to make throughout the 90 minutes. The likes of Arda Güler on that left-hand side, almost playing in the half spaces. He will look to release Kylian Mbappe as early as possible. Mbappe up against Dayot Upamecano. The two Frenchmen will certainly be a very interesting battle. They would have gone up against each other in training in numerous occasions in the national camp. Here's Pavlovic. Finds Dayot Upamecano. Put under a bit of pressure, and he plays through the press very nicely on the occasion. Here's Michael Olise. Finding Pavlovic again, shifts it onto the left-hand side. A lot of space here to operate for Luis Diaz. He can run out the Madrid defense if he wants to. Diaz again. Happily uses the line and goes for the cutback. Well defended by Trent again. Trent has been defending very well in this opening 15 minutes or so. Good turn there by Jude Bellingham. Now looking to drive his team forward. Finding his skipper in the Uruguayan Fede Valverde. Been an incredible start, and finally, for the first time, the game is just about settled in. It's Mbappe's through on goal here. Kylian Mbappe with the strike. Outstanding challenge on the slide by Dayot Upamecano. I think that was Konrad Laimer who just shifted across. Kylian Mbappe once again makes the early run. He is definitely onside, and you expected the net to bulge. Excellent challenge by the Austrian. Well, the quick release pass is going to be on every time Arda Güler has the ball on the left-hand side. The introduction and pretty much keeping Arda Güler for the second leg, turning out to be an excellent decision so far by Alvaro Arbeloa. Well, Xabi Alonso, who did make history with Bayer Leverkusen, ending the Bayern Munich dominance, winning Bundesliga with an unbeaten season. But for Real Madrid, for Bayer Leverkusen and, of course, Xabi Alonso, things not going according to plan since then. Here's Vinicius Jr. up against Upamecano. He turns on the afterburners here now. Vinicius Jr., what a challenge that is by Upamecano. Great recovery pace. And then it's a clean challenge as well. 20 minutes on the clock. Brilliant this from Upamecano. How clean was that? See from his reaction as well, almost celebrating that like a goal. It's still 0-0 at the Emirates, and the longer that stays 0-0, they'll certainly be under pressure as Mbappe. He has to score, man, considering he was released and the pace that he has. Konrad Laimer so good in terms of matching the run of Kylian Mbappe and not just conceding a corner but blocking the shot as well. Now, Mbappe, what do you have in store for us? Are we going to see Kylian Mbappe against his former side, Paris Saint-Germain, in the semi-finals of the Champions League? Or will Bayern Munich put in a repeat performance in the 2020 final, where Hansi Flick got the job done against Thomas Tuchel's men? Kingsley Coman scoring the only goal in the final on that occasion. Thomas Tuchel, of course, making amends, not with PSG, but with Chelsea the very next season, along with Thiago Silva in what was an incredible season from a Chelsea point of view. Last time we won serious silverware, it was a memorable campaign, a memorable 6 months under Thomas Tuchel. Here's Güler. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold picks his head up and shifts it onto the right-hand side. Here's Kylian Mbappe is dropping very deep here to try and influence the build-up. Goes all the way back to Eder Militao, who switches the play magnificently well there for Ferland Mendy. His first touch is excellent to get away from Stanisic. And now in the central areas, Gulera has been absolutely brilliant in this first half. Mendy continues his run here. Ferland Mendy waiting for a bit of support. Goes back to Kylian Mbappe. He's been bundled over. I think Ferland Mendy just got a nosebleed going that far forward. And now Bayern Munich on the counter-attack. Harry Kane gets there first. And now waiting for a bit of support. That's such a clever pass there by Kane to Luis Diaz. He's got runners. Shifts it back onto the right-hand side here for Michael Olise, who was a man of the match in the first leg. Now Kane on the outside. Takes a deflection. It's a corner for Bayern Munich. Jonathan Tah down the right-hand side. Makes the challenge there. Mendy tried to just turn away. Tah took a real risk there. I mean, Mendy with a clever turn. Jonathan Tah possibly manhandling the Frenchman, but you can see Ferland Mendy getting a firm grab of the German defender's jersey here. Well, Bayern Munich equalized courtesy of a corner, and now at the far side, with halfway through the first half, Michael Olise now with the left-footed in-swinger, as Real Madrid will have their hearts in their mouth here. Olise delivers. He keeps it short here. It's a strike. It's well blocked. And it's a chance from distance again. It's another block and it's another corner. Bayern Munich turn on the pressure. Real Madrid have nowhere to go. They're playing on the counter-attack and relying on those quick transitions, where Bayern Munich very happy to keep control of the proceedings here. Next goal in this contest is going to be so key. Just feels like a swing in momentum can happen at any moment with the quality in both sides, as Olise delivers this ball into the box. Good header there first time by Eder Militao, and it's cleared away. Real Madrid need to grab a hold of this game here, but with the likes of Bellingham and Fede Valverde both playing as the midfield pivot, we don't really expect that, and on the transition is where Real Madrid will be at their most dangerous. Bayern Munich with Joshua Kimmich and Alexander Pavlovic, two natural centre midfielders, now running the show. Here's Kimmich. Finds Upamecano. Back to Joshua Kimmich. Serge Gnabry has had a relatively quiet start, with Leonard Carl picking up an injury and Jamal Musiala recovering after his foot break in the Club World Cup. Luis Diaz certainly offside on that occasion. It was really heartbreaking to see Jamal Musiala breaking his ankle in the Club World Cup. It was an innocuous challenge, really. I think it was Gianluigi Donnarumma, if I'm not mistaken, making the challenge. And then finally recovering for the back end of the season. Did come on, had a couple of good opportunities in terms of counterattacks with a shot and of course a chance to possibly kill the game off, but he was rusty. But in the second leg we expect to see a lot more of the number 10, Jamal Musiala. Joshua Kimmich fires that pass into Konrad Laimer. The first touch is very good there from the left back. And now Luis Diaz up against Trent. Once again drifts infield. Central position again as Joshua Kimmich picks his head up. Feeds it onto the right-hand side here for Michael Olise. 25 minutes on the clock here at the Allianz Arena. It's Michael Olise takes the deflection. It's another corner for Bayern Munich. They are turning it on here. Olise creates enough separation to open the body up and try and find the top corner. Good defending there from Real Madrid. It's another corner. Bayern Munich putting all the pressure on the 15-time champions here. Well, La Liga for Real Madrid is all but done and dusted. 9 points the gap between them and Barcelona. With Barcelona getting knocked out, is the other Spanish giant in Real Madrid going to face the same fate? And is it going to be only Atletico Madrid flying the Spanish flag in the Champions League in the semi-finals, as Joshua Kimmich lines up this corner? Good delivery again. Lunin is so bad in terms of crosses. Oh my goodness me. He is dying out there. Andre Lunin, for a guy of his stature, his height and his presence, so poor. Look at him, he's caught again, he's flapping. It's taken a touch off him. Upamecano nearly squirms that back into play, and it's well defended by Jude Bellingham. Another corner, this time taken short. Change of angle here from Bayern Munich's point of view as Michael Olise now feeds it onto the right hand side. Patient this from Bayern Munich. Real Madrid have got everybody back. Clever pass again for Joshua Kimmich. Good save. Kimmich on his left foot. Looks to curl that towards the far corner. Andre Lunin makes the dive and parries that away. Great strike there from the German. Diving save from the Ukrainian to just tip that over for a corner. A lot of space opening up there for Joshua Kimmich. Such a clever pass that was, to feed him in that kind of space in the box. Madrid have to defend these situations a lot better. They are struggling with the Bayern Munich corner. 7 corners already for Bayern Munich. Real Madrid yet to have one here as Joshua Kimmich at the near side delivers again. Ooh, identical delivery to the equalizer. And now Real Madrid on the transition here and played it very nicely. This is where Real Madrid can really cook and be dangerous. Here's Vinicius Jr. left-footed cross into the box here for Kylian Mbappe. As nicely done there by Manuel Neuer. Mbappe puts it back into the danger area. Bayern Munich comfortably gather. Mbappe's ball into the box was really poor. I mean, it was aimless really. Here's Vinicius. Decent pass. Brahim Diaz has certainly been fouled. It's a needless challenge. Konrad Laimer can have no complaints. Real Madrid thrive on moments. Moments like this could be the undoing of Bayern Munich. Clever touch there by the Moroccan. I think Konrad Laimer just too eager to try and pinch the ball there. Vinicius Jr., that was pretty clever from him trying to put that into the danger area. Might have just slightly overhit that. Neuer wasn't to know. Well, this for Real Madrid can make all the difference. In open play, they have really struggled. A couple of chances on the transition, but in terms of sustained possession, they really have struggled to get a foothold in the match. But this is where Real Madrid thrive. The right foot of Trent Alexander-Arnold or the left foot of Brahim Diaz. This might just favour the right of Trent Alexander-Arnold here. Well, Brahim Diaz has walked away and Arda Güler, he's put his hands up here. He'll be full of confidence there, the Turkish international, after scoring the goal in the very first minute. Whether or not he'll pull rank and take that over Trent Alexander-Arnold, we'll wait and see. If this was Liverpool, there would be no doubts as to who's going to take this free kick. It would have been Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it does look like Arda Güler might have a pop here from distance. The left foot of Güler or the right foot of Alexander-Arnold. Güler goes for goal. Oh my word, it's brilliant. Oh, it is sensational from Arda Güler finding the top corner, and Real Madrid out of absolutely nothing do it again. A brace for the Turkish international as Bayern Munich have been shell-shocked. What a free kick this is from Arda Güler into the postage stamp as well. Wow. Absolutely world class. Well, it is sensational. Manuel Neuer collides against the post. This from Arda Güler is so good. Up and over the ball. Jonathan Tah is 6'4". He leaps and he gets that over him. Enough bend on it to bring that down. Manuel Neuer is a giant in goal, but even he can't keep that out. Arda Güler, wow. Talk about announcing yourself on the European stage on the biggest of nights. And he's got a brace in the first half. Well, Alvaro Arbeloa cannot take any credit in terms of the coaching performance here. It's been individual moments of magic. Bayern Munich, they've been hit again, and now it's all about the parity. Talk about Arda Güler, man. 13 games, no goals for Real Madrid in the Champions League. And what a time and what a place to pull out a brace. 30 minutes on the clock. Vincent Kompany cannot believe what he's watching here. With all the control that his side have had, he's seen his team concede 2 at home, and Arda Güler's got both. Simply incredible. Simply incredible. Well, this is why we love the Champions League, don't we? This is what it's all about. The big games, the big moments, the big players stepping up. And down the left-hand side here, here's Luis Diaz. Bayern have to go again. Down the left-hand side, Trent Alexander-Arnold gets the job done. Well, Real Madrid are sensing blood here. This is where they thrive. This is where they just transform themselves. What is it about this competition and Real Madrid, man? It shouldn't surprise us, and yet they do it. Still 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium, and it really feels sad for the Arsenal fans having to watch their team over this Champions League classic. Here's Kimmich. Laimer Onto the left-hand side, he's the one who committed that needless foul here. Pavlovic might go for goal. Instead, he clips that onto the right-hand side for Michael Olise. Good first touch. Right-footed ball into the box. Well defended there by Ede Militao. Here's Konrad Laimer, who nearly squeezes the pass forward. Luis Diaz is quick, and Trent Alexander with an excellent challenge. Oh, lovely leave there by Arda Güler, and now Jude Bellingham can stride forward, and now Real Madrid on the counter-attack. Here's Brahim Diaz, and immediately smothered. It has been absolutely ridiculous, a frantic 30 minutes. There's been no time to relax. This is why we love the Champions League. Clever pass again, Kylian Mbappe, looking to just burst past Dayot Upamecano on that occasion. Nicely defended by the Frenchman again. But from a defensive standpoint, Bayern Munich must be wondering, how the hell did we concede 2 goals here? Here's Luis Diaz. Again, a very lackadaisical pass on that occasion, and now Vinicius Jr. can drive through the central areas. Diaz is making the run. Clever there by Vinicius, but brilliant challenge there by Joshua Kimmich. Harry Kane dropping painfully deep again. It's something that I don't really agree with. Everybody is full of praise with Harry Kane in terms of how he drops deep, links up, and all that passing range. But as a centre forward, you want him to take shots in the box rather than just almost delegate duties. Phenomenal. Here's Kimmich now. Kimmich again onto the left-hand side, finding Luis Diaz. Diaz keeps it short, finds Kimmich again. Kimmich goes for the switch onto the right-hand side, perfectly passed to Michael Olise. Olise looks to play the 1-2. Serge Gnabry on his left foot. It's a weak shot, straight into the hands of Andre Lunin. But what does Vincent Kompany do here? He's seen his side. Plays some very good football in terms of control. That cutting edge is certainly lacking. They are trying to trouble Andre Lunin from distance. Both Joshua Kimmich and Serge Gnabry shooting from identical range. How good has Arda Güler been? I thought in the first leg he was on the periphery of things, but still one of Madrid's better players. But today, talk about stepping up. Here's Rudiger. Caught in a cul-de-sac there. It's a foul there by Serge Gnabry. Free kick for Real Madrid. Well, 10 minutes plus added down time remaining in the first half. Arda Güler, who scored the first goal in the very first minute, saw his goal being cancelled out by Alexander Pavlovic. And then a world-class free kick right into the top corner. To give Real Madrid the lead was Arda Güler to get the business done again. Bayern Munich, they do have home advantage, and we are absolutely level now. 3-3 on aggregate. Here's Madrid again down the left-hand side. Vinicius Jr. just tries to smuggle the ball forward. Nicely done on that occasion. Bayern clear. 9 minutes plus added on time remaining in the first half. Good strong play down the left-hand side here by Konrad Laimer. It's a chance there for Harry Kane. It's an outstanding challenge. He's not going to get the foul. Brahim Diaz loses out on the duel. Here's Stanisic who ventures forward here. It's Stanisic with the strike. Good effort. And on the follow-up, they want a handball. They're probably not going to get it. Bayern still keep the pressure going here. Here's Michael Olise, fades the ball into the box. Luis Diaz wins the header for Harry Kane to get the shot away. Harry Kane tries to manufacture a bit of room, finds Limer again. Here's Luis Diaz. Good defending, very good box defending there from Real Madrid. Here's Kimmich. Again, good break in the central areas here as Diop Mukana now ventures forward. It's a clever pass for Harry Kane! Bayern regained the advantage on aggregate, and Harry Kane's very first opportunity results in a goal. He is so clinical in front of goal. That's exactly where you want to see Harry Kane, in the box to get those chances. And once he did, there was no mistake from him. And Bayern, once again on aggregate, take the lead. It's 2-2 on the night at the Allianz Arena. This is turning into a Champions League classic. Absolutely no time to rest for either side. And Arda Güler's brilliance been undone on this occasion. First by Pavlovic and then by Harry Kane, who scored now in both legs. All starts with Joshua Kimmich, who fades that onto the right-hand side. Bayern do well to just keep the danger alive. How does this kind of space be afforded? Diop Mukano's pass is very, very good to Kane. And then from there, Kane is so clinical. He was always going to find the bottom corner. This assist from Upamecano is special, man. The run from Luis Diaz is so special. He takes the runner away from him, opens the space up for Harry Kane, and then Kane does the rest. Big game goal by Harry Kane as Vincent Kompany celebrates again. Bayern Munich get their noses in front. Here's Jude Bellingham now. He gets robbed off the ball but does well to keep his balance, and a beautiful turn there by Jude. And now busting a gut to get forward. Trent Alexander there. Arnold is there for support here. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold looking to pick out a chance. Oh, Ferland Mendy had made the run. Chance there for Real Madrid in open play. Brilliant by Jude Bellingham. And that's a foul on Harry Kane by Eder Militao. It's a bit naughty there from the Brazilian. He's going to certainly pick up a yellow card, and he does. Tracking the run of Harry Kane all the way forward. It's a cynical challenge. Almost catches the ankle of Kane. Immediately getting a bit of treatment there, the English international. And right in front of the Bayern bench, Eder Militao feels that a bit of leniency was in order, but he was never going to get that decision in favor of him. 5 minutes plus added on time remaining in what has been an incredible first half. Wow. Joshua Kimmich hits that forward. Here's Brahim Diaz. Immediately picks his head up here for Vinicius Jr., who gets there first. Manuel Neuer forced to retreat. Vinicius Jr., great save. Manuel Neuer gets his gigantic paw on it and tips it over the crossbar. Once again, one pass opens up the Bayern defense. Yep, Tah is playing Vinicius on side here. Neuer thought about coming retreats. Oh, it's hit the crossbar. It's not a save, you know. That's how close Real Madrid were coming once again to bring parity as Kylian Mbappe onto the right-hand side here for Brahim Diaz. Is there going to be yet another twist in the tail here in what has been one of the best first halves in the Champions League this season, man? Absolutely incredible. Diaz in the central areas. Clever touch there by Michael Olise, finding the goal scorer in Harry Kane. Is there going to be another goal before the half-time whistle? We'll wait and see. Arda Güler with the brace, Alexander Pavlovic, and of course Harry Kane bringing parity for Bayern Munich. Gnabry's touch is very poor. If he gets his first touch right, Bayern Munich could have been in business. Again, Vinicius Jr. looking to have a run at Jonathan Tah here. Here's Vinicius. Vinicius again. It's clever for Kylian Mbappe! Real Madrid do it again! We are level at aggregate. Real Madrid lead at the night. Mbappe, who scored in the first leg, scores again. And just before half-time, Real Madrid open up the Bayern defense. 5 goals in the first half. It has been magnificent viewing. Well, I'm running out of superlatives here. Alvaro Arbeloa trying to keep a bit of calm here. They're going to have a look whether or not there was a foul in the build-up before that. There was certainly a call for it. Let's have a look here. The referee was right there. And Vinicius is onside as well. This goal is going to stand. Vinicius Jr. does so well. They look at the Mbappe run. It's perfect. Once the touch is good, he just leaves Dayot Upamecano in the dust. And then Mbappe does the rest. A clutch goal from Kylian Mbappe. As Bayern Munich will be wondering how it's all gone pear-shaped for them. It's still level on aggregate, but Bayern Munich are certainly making heavy weather of this contest. Well, the Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe combination working at the big stage as Bayern Munich will have to go again. 4-4 on aggregate. This is going to pens, isn't it? This even might go beyond that. This might just end up in a coin toss by the looks of it. These two teams, man, are providing us with champagne football. It has been electrifying. 15 goals in 11 Champions League games for Kylian Mbappe in the Champions League. He will be desperate to face his former side, the reigning European champions Paris Saint-Germain, who handled business relatively easily against Liverpool, winning 4-0 on aggregate. This has been one for the books, man. This has been absolutely sensational. I thought it's going to be tied, maybe 10s. Oh, they've given the ball away here. Bayern Munich are in 6s and 7s here. Trent Alexander-Arnold finds Jude Bellingham. Oh, it's a weak cross into the box. Easy for Neuer. Here's Jonathan Tah. Onto the left-hand side to Konrad Laimer. Now Pavlovic. This is something we did not expect to happen, as 2 minutes of added on time signaled by the fourth official. Here's Kimmich. Finds Dayot Upamecano again. Kimmich. But no time to panic really from Bayern Munich's point of view. They'll know another goal will bring them ahead on the aggregate score. But what is it when these two sides meet each other, man? It just produces the most extraordinary of football matches. And that's exactly what we're getting here at the Allianz Arena. Ball shifted onto the left-hand side here for Luis Diaz. Possibly the final attack in the first half. Kimmich trying to just punch the through pass. And now Vinicius Jr. shields the ball nicely. I think Bayern's high line is certainly something that Real Madrid feel that they can exploit with ease. And every time they do attack, they can create all sorts of problems, as Pavlovic finds Michael Olise. Olise with a clever attempted pass, but comfortable for Lunin. Well, in terms of half-time thoughts, it's very simple. This has been one of the best Champions League games you can ever ask for. When the stakes are raised, it has been sensational viewing. Wow, thoroughly enjoyable. 5 goals in what has been an extraordinary first half at the Allianz Arena. Nobody can relax. And the second half will turn into a blockbuster, that's for sure. 4-4 on aggregate. The referee's possibly had a look at his watch and will blow the whistle for what has been an incredible first half performance from both sides here. Well, the 45 minutes comes to an end and we have witnessed a Champions League classic here. Arda Güler scored in the very first minute after a howler by Manuel Neuer. Alexander Pavlovich 5 minutes later from unmissable range from the corner scored. But Real Madrid were not done from there. Brilliant curling top corner finish by Arda Güler with the free kick. But that lead did not last too long as Harry Kane scored his goal, his customary goal in the Champions League. But Bayern Munich's advantage on aggregate did not last more than 4 minutes as Kylian Mbappe, as it stands, having the final word in what has been one of the best first halves you will see in the Champions League. Half-time at the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich 2, Real Madrid 3. Well, we're a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. This has been one of the most incredible Champions League clashes that we have seen. No surprise that Bayern Munich and Real Madrid once again delivering on the big stage. A 5-goal classic in the first half. Vincent Kompany would have made sure that every I was dotted and every T was crossed in that halftime team talk. Bayern Munich will have to certainly elevate their game. All that possession is not something that will bother Real Madrid. They're a team that thrive on the counterattacks and transitions. And we saw that from the Kylian Mbappe goal, didn't we? Where Vinicius Jr. ran from nearly the halfway line, waited for a bit of support, slipped it through. Well, we're a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. Buried the shot past Manuel Neuer. Well, which one of Kylian Mbappe or Harry Kane is going to have the final word? As it stands, Arda Güler, who's on a hat-trick, as Alphonso Davies is going to be coming on here, and I'm sure he's going to be replacing Konrad Laimer, a natural left-back, and a bit of pace now for Bayern Munich down the left-hand side. Well, it's not Laimer, and it's Stanisic who's been replaced, which means Konrad Laimer will move to right-back, and Alphonso Davies will slot in as the left-back here, the Canadian international. Different dynamics now for Bayern Munich. And it'll certainly be an incredible 45 minutes at the Allianz Arena. As it stands, both sides deadlocked here. And the next goal will be absolutely crucial. Still 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium. As it stands, Arsenal will go through to the semi-finals by the barest of margins. And they will face Atletico Madrid. What do Sporting Lisbon have up their sleeves in the second half? We'll wait and see. Well, Davies on, Stanisic off, Kylian Mbappe will look to go again here. Had a decent opportunity before his goal. It was a tremendous challenge by Konrad Laimer on that occasion. And we're off and running for the start of the second half. 5 goals shared between the two sides. 21 Champions League between the two European giants. Who's going to make that step forward and face the defending champions Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals? As Arda Güler's first touch is world-class. A lovely touch on the spin as well. And Michael Olise certainly needs to improve his game. The clear difference between the defending of Ferland Mendy and of course Alvaro Carreras in the first leg. Chalk and cheese has not been able to get too much in terms of inches forward here. Here's Luis Diaz, who certainly looked energetic and lively down the left hand side, as ball into the box here. Oh, Harry Kane nearly gets there, and it's Luis Diaz. Great block. Brilliant by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is that Trent Alexander-Arnold or was that Jude Bellingham? Either way, it is a magnificent block. Bayern Munich, who scored 20 seconds into the second half in the first leg, nearly repeat their heroics here. It's an early corner for the Bavarians. Again, brilliant run there by Luis Diaz, full of running, powerful work from him. Corner opportunity for Bayern Munich. I think this is their 8th corner. Joshua Kimmich lining up this corner from the far side. Plenty of movement in the box. Great delivery there. Lunin caught in no man's land again. Lunin's box commanding, and his presence is non-existent as Diop Meccano gets his header, and it's over the crossbar. Again, Lunin glued to his line on that occasion. This is a brilliant challenge by Jude Bellingham. This takes a healthy enough deflection to take that out of harm's way. Bayern Munich desperate to get their noses in front here. The fans getting everything that they paid for and then some. Terrific encounter here at the Allianz Arena. Both sides putting on a show. Still 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium. What is happening there? And I really feel sad for the Arsenal fans, man. They're missing out on this Champions League classic, supporting their side. But if they make it into the semi-finals, those complaints will disappear. Trent finds Jude. Eder Militao now to the German here, Antonio Rudiger. Will come summertime for Germany. Rudiger and Jonathan Tah will be expected to start as the two centre-halves for Germany. Julian Nagelsmann certainly does have the likes of Schlotterbeck as well as a backup option. He might be one of the starters and be pushing for those spots, but with Tah and Rudiger, possibly will be the two starting centre-backs for Germany in North America. Kylian Mbappe having a slight complaint there with the linesman. Three minutes into the second half, and we nearly got the blockbuster start that we were looking for as Luis Diaz pulled his effort, which was well blocked by Jude Bellingham. Well, the difference between Lunin and Courtois in terms of cross-claiming is night and day, heaven and hell. As again Madrid down the right-hand side, the last thing that Bayern Munich should be doing is conceding fouls and free kicks for Real Madrid to try and profit off. Kylian Mbappe had an up and down first half, but when it mattered the most, pulled the trigger beautifully. Again going for the switch of flank there. Konrad Laimer will be feeling a lot more comfortable at right back, that's for sure. A right footer there is a clear foul on Michael Olise by Ferland Mendy. Decent pass forward for Eder Militao to just mop up there, finding Andre Lunin. Lunin's distribution nowhere near good enough on that occasion as Bayern Munich secure possession once again. Here's Joshua Kimmich. Now Dayo Upamecano to Konrad Laimer. Well, Real Madrid with their two pivot players in Valverde and Jude Bellingham having to do a lot of work off the ball in terms of ground coverage. To their credit, they have done so. Madrid don't mind defending deep here as Alexander Pavlovic shifts it onto the left-hand side. Here's Luis Diaz. Pavlovic again. Kimmich got a bit of space. Thought about pulling the trigger but decides to keep it short to Serge Gnabry. Former Arsenal man. Now very much part of the Bayern Munich furniture here, and onto the right hand side is Michael Olise, expecting Olise to really step his game up in the second half. Relatively quieter performance from the Frenchman here as he shifts it onto the right hand side for Konrad Laimer. Good work there by Ferland Mendy. Olise, bit of a nonchalant ball, and they do manage to clear quite comfortably there, Real Madrid. And there you have it. Bayern just edging it in terms of possession. We do know that Vincent Kompany likes his two centre-halves to take aggressive positions and leave so much of space in behind. And that's where Manuel Neuer will have to play sweeper-keeper on a lot of occasions. Joshua Kimmich being put under pressure. On to the left-hand side. Pretty calm here from Bayern Munich, and now they look to turn it on here. Luis Diaz up against Brahim Diaz. Good work again there by Real Madrid to pinch the ball at the halfway line, and it's a foul given. Pavlovic gets fouled there by Jude Bellingham. Ooh, I'm not sure that was a foul. Pavlovic gets very fortunate. Bellingham has every right to be pissed off with that decision. Thought he won that clean. Here's Kimmich. Now Dayot Upamecano got totally outpaced there by Kylian Mbappe for Real Madrid's third goal. 4-4 on aggregate. Will this go into extra time and possibly penalties? I wouldn't be surprised though. Harry Kane not fouled there according to the referee, and the foul has been given against. Quick release there for Vinicius Junior. You can see there Manuel Neuer having to play sweeper keeper. So much space there for the Madrid forwards. Their eyes will be lighting up, that's for sure. Kane could not believe that the foul was given against him. Company was certain that his team should have gotten the free kick. Eder Militao and Antonio Rudiger. Every time I keep switching the tab and looking at the Arsenal score, nothing changes. Arsenal keep registering shots off target. Only the one shot on target at the Emirates Stadium. And if you compare that to this game, it's been sensational there. Ball over the top here for Kylian Mbappe. His touch pretty poor on that occasion. Good defending. I think it might have come off Alphonso Davies. It has. It's a corner for Real Madrid. I think this is their first corner of the match. Ball over the top here. Mbappe running off the back of Alphonso Davies. Davies certainly does have the pace to try and keep up with the Frenchman. His first touch just got away from him. Last touch clearly came off the Canadian, and it's a corner for Real Madrid. It's impossible to predict which way this match is going to swing next here, as Trent Alexander-Arnold lining up Real Madrid's first corner into the 55th minute. Trent delivers the ball. Rudiger's header has taken a deflection. It's wicked. It's cleared away by Pavlovic. Good defending there by the German. Luis Diaz colliding with a South American counterpart there. Oh, what a pass for Kylian Mbappe. It's a magnificent save by Neuer. The offside flag stays down. What an opportunity that was. A ball out of nowhere for Kylian Mbappe in acres of space. And now Michael Olise can lead the counter charge here for Bayern Munich. What a save by Neuer. Kane. Oh, the pass is really poor and Valverde can mop up. Kane has to find Gnabry there because Gnabry found the perfect pocket of space. Vinicius Junior, clever pass there for Arda Güler. Rudiger putting Brahim Diaz under a bit of pressure, and Bayern Munich nicked the ball high up the pitch now. Here's Luis Diaz, uses the overlap of Alphonso Davies. Kimmich screaming for the ball. Davies just checks his run. 10 minutes into the second half and still been so exciting. Both Bayern Munich and Real Madrid could have scored. Kylian Mbappe still lamenting his chance missed. Here's Pavlovic to Konrad Laimer. Will immediately feed Michael Olise. He's up against Ferland Mendy again. Olise now looking to play the 1-2. Instead, Gnabry finds Pavlovic. Now to Upamecano, to his fellow countrymen as Olise clips the ball. Well defended by Eder Militao. Olise can dictate again. Here's Kimmich. Now Pavlovic shifts it onto the left-hand side. It's been positive here by Alphonso Davies down the left-hand side. Certainly a different dynamic for Trent Alexander-Arnold now with Luis Diaz and Alphonso Davies. Plenty of pace down the left-hand side for Bayern Munich. There's Konrad Laimer. Finds Dayot Upamecano. And now Michael Olise. The French connection working on the right-hand side. Now Olise. Couple of step overs trying to create a bit of separation. Here's Kimmich. Goes for the clip pass there. Lunin does very well. And a quick release as well. Real Madrid know that another goal will just give them that advantage that they were looking for. It's another pass played through the heart of the Bayern defense here. Here's Kylian Mbappe. Can he go by himself? Kylian Mbappe with the strike. Good defending by Jonathan Tah. Expected Kylian Mbappe to almost burst past the challenge of Jonathan Tah on that occasion. It's a foul there on the left back. Free kick for Bayern Munich. Terrific save. What a pass that was for Kylian Mbappe. Manuel Neuer stands tall and just beats that away with a strong wrist. Well, one goal will separate the two teams on aggregate. 4-4 the aggregate score. And what has been a Champions League classic here at the Allianz Arena. Now down the left-hand side, here's Luis Diaz. Clip pass there for Alphonso Davies. Good work there by Eder Militao on the cover and prevents the corner. Nicely done there by the Brazilian. But Real Madrid certainly look a lot more solid with Eder Militao compared to Dean Huijsen. Here's Lima. Michael Olise finds Alexander Pavlovic. Beautifully clipped pass there for Alphonso Davies. He's getting involved heavily on that left-hand side. Here's Kimmich. Pavlovic again. Run made from deep there by Konrad Lima, ignored by Pavlovic. Here's Harry Kane now. Once again, happy to drop deep and look to link up. Bayern Munich once again having all the possession. Here's Tah. Heavy touch there by Serge Gnabry. Nicely done there by Jonathan Tah to win the ball back. Here's Serge Gnabry. Shifts it onto the left-hand side here for Harry Kane. Good football once again by Bayern Munich. Onto the left-hand side. Here's Alphonso Davies. He's up against Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's taken a slight deflection as Andre Lunin smothers the ball. Jamal Musiala has been stripped and ready for action here. Will it be a straight swap with Serge Gnabry? I think so. Gnabry has been off the boil with nearly 60 minutes on the clock. What a pass that is by Vinicius Jr. And now Ferland Mendy venturing forward. Good work there by Joshua Kimmich. Brahim Diaz though pinches the loose pass to find Kylian Mbappe now. Mbappe in the box waiting for a bit of support. Might go by himself here. Kylian Mbappe. Brilliant from Kylian Mbappe. And he nearly provides the cutback there for Brahim Diaz. Electric play there by the Frenchman. The quick twitch muscles very much on display, and Real Madrid do the right thing as well. A bit of midfield control is certainly needed, and Eduardo Camavinga's numbers coming up here. Be interesting to see who he replaces. I think Brahim Diaz's number might be up here for Real Madrid's point of view. Eduardo Camavinga will just slot in as that number 6 and allow the likes of Jude Bellingham and Fede Valverde to press forward without worrying what's behind them. Second corner for Real Madrid. Ball in by Trent. The header by Eder Militao. It's got a loop on it. Comfortable for Manuel Neuer. When an hour played at the Allianz Arena. Another good pass there for Andre Lunin to play sweeper keeper. It has been a Champions League classic. A night we will not forget as football fans, as Jamal Musiala now will replace Serge Gnabry in that number 10 position. Much more of a natural number 10. Serge Gnabry full of running and effort, but not having the quality in the final third. Jamal Musiala can certainly rectify that in terms of the creativity and trying to pick the lock of the Real Madrid defense. Musiala, great to see him back onto the pitch after suffering that horrific leg break in the Club World Cup. As Eduardo Camavinga, the number 6, formerly of Rennes, now of Real Madrid colours, will enter the fray here for the final half an hour of normal time. And it will be Brahim Diaz. Yep, no surprises again. Bit of a defensive substitution from Real Madrid's point of view, but this is a substitution that makes a lot of sense. They need that midfield control. They've been overrun in the second half. Bayern Munich having more of the ball, but with Eduardo Camavinga now, while it might be a defensive substitution by bringing on a number 6 for an attacking player, but it allows Jude Bellingham and Fede Valverde to now bomb on forward. I think Valverde might just be on the right hand side. Goulet as the number 10. Vinicius, of course, on the left. And Kylian Mbappe down the middle. Again, Lunin's pass. What a touch that is by Arda Goulet, but they've lost it here. They're in real trouble now. A chance here. Luis Diaz takes an eternity to pull the trigger. Excellent work on the cover. He has to score. Luis Diaz has to hit it. Brilliant pass there for Luis Diaz. And Trent Alexander does really well. Welcome to the screen, Malyuna Abdullah. I cannot show the screen, my friend. I will be taken down immediately for copyright. That's why I'm going to provide you second by second commentary. If you cannot see the match, it'll be as good as watching the match. It has been a firecracker of a contest. Thank you for joining in the stream, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold busting a gut to get forward here. Kylian Mbappe loses out the duel. Good work there by Dayot Upamecano to just nick the ball. Malyun Abdullah. Did I get that right? Thank you for joining in, my friend. I think this is the first time that you're joining my stream here, as Vinicius Jr. on the outside. Vinicius Jr.'s left-footed effort is horribly sliced. Needs to get that on target. Huge let-off there by Bayern Munich's point of view. What a first half it was, Malyun. It is one of the games that you'll not forget in a long, long time. It had everybody on the edge of the seat. Arda Güler scored in the very first minute after Manuel Neuer made a howler of an error. And from there, goals have been flowing as Michael Olise now on the right-hand side. Clever pass here for Konrad Laimer. Can't bring that under control. Cleared away. Good touch there by Dayot Upamecano to kill it dead. Here's Pavlovic. Both sides making a single change here with under half an hour remaining of normal time. This has all the ingredients to go the distance, extra time and penalties. Here's Luis Diaz though. He had to score on that occasion. Here's Olise. Laimer, look how far up the pitch Konrad Laimer is, almost playing in that right-hand side half space just outside the box. Here's Pavlovic, who got the equalizer 5 minutes after Arda Güler's first minute opener. Here's Kimmich. Good pass onto the right-hand side again for Olise now. Olise playing the game at a walking pace. Not had too much joy against his fellow countrymen in Ferland Mendy. Well, do hit the subscribe button, Malyun. I really do appreciate you joining the stream. I do Champions League, Premier League action, of course, this weekend. Chelsea versus Manchester United and Arsenal versus Manchester City. Two blockbuster clashes in the Premier League. But Champions League has been a thoroughly enjoyable watch here. Here's Michael Olise now. Trying to get away from the challenge. The two Frenchmen, Kylian Mbappe and Michael Olise, both expected to cause havoc for France in the World Cup. Olise finding Joshua Kimmich now. Kimmich running the show, looking for a clever pass as Alphonso Davies from left back, venturing all the way forward, almost as an auxiliary centre forward there. Great run there by Davies, nearly picked perfectly by Joshua Kimmich. Well, as we approach the final 25 minutes with the aggregate score 4-4, do let me know what you think in terms of predictions. What's going to happen here with 25 minutes plus added on time remaining at the Allianz Arena? Will it be Bayern Munich's time to face Paris Saint-Germain, or will Kylian Mbappe face his former side in the Champions League semi-final? Paris Saint-Germain getting the job done against Liverpool, 4-0 on aggregate. Ousmane Dembele scoring both goals at Anfield. As Real Madrid, well, they pretty much have only the Champions League to play for, considering Barcelona are 9 points clear in La Liga. Brilliant by Jude Bellingham. Kylian Mbappe brings that down. Waits for a bit of support here. Vinicius Jr. now in a central position. Bayern queuing up the clever pass there for Valverde. Valverde! Oh, brilliant save. Valverde strikes it on his left foot. Gets so much power behind it there, the skipper. Good work there by Kylian Mbappe. Great strike there by Valverde. Good handling too by Manuel Neuer. Here's Dayot Upamecano now venturing forward, waiting for a bit of support. Here's Michael Olise. Central position here for Alexander Pavlovic. Well, the substitutes certainly getting involved. Jamal Musiala and Alphonso Davies for Bayern Munich adds a different dimension going forward. Here's Pavlovic. Olise, it's all Bayern Munich in terms of possession, but something that does not bother Real Madrid whatsoever. They're happy to defend deep and then hit back on the counter-attack. Here's Joshua Kimmich. Upamecano. Kimmich again. He's got plenty of runners in front of him. Kimmich keeps it short for the Austrian Konrad Laimer. Michael Olise gets away from his fellow Frenchman. Clever bit of skill there to get away from Camavinga. Now Pavlovic. Poor pass, and it's a slip there for Fonzie as well. Real Madrid should be able to clear, but not too far. Here's Jamal Musiala. Jinks and moves back onto the left-hand side. Here's Musiala again. Electric stuff from him. Gets the shot away. Here's Michael Olise. It's Olise! Oh my goodness me! He nearly finds the top corner in sensational fashion. Hits that so sweet. Terrific strike there by the Frenchman. Lunin at full stretch. Oh, he gets a good wrist on it. Again, Olise, look at this bit of skill to get away from Camavinga and Bellingham. Wow, it's absolutely brilliant from Olise to create the separation, then look for the curler. Bayern Munich's corner now. Towards the far side, the right foot of Joshua Kimmich. Looking to add a lot of panic in the Real Madrid box. I hope you're enjoying the stream here, Malyun. It has been a cracker of a Champions League contest here. Got to keep a close eye on what's happening at the other game as Alphonso Davies puts the ball into the box here. Gets it again. Here's Davies. Alphonso Davies with the strike. Well blocked. Now Real Madrid again. Chance for the counter-attack. Bayern Munich immediately thwart that out. It is still 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium. 18 minutes plus added on time for Arsenal to book their spot in the semi-finals of the Champions League. They reached that stage against PSG last season. Paris Saint-Germain getting the job done on that occasion. Arsenal this time will possibly will be facing Atletico Madrid as another inexplicable pass there to Harry Kane, who tries to thread it through the eye of the needle. Well defended there by Eder Militao, who strides forward with the ball. Now onto the right hand side. Ooh, there's a foul there. It's a rolling ball. Bayern Munich are absolutely fuming with it. Antonio Rudiger has picked up a yellow card. Both Real Madrid centre-backs now booked. Rudiger needs to walk away here. Jamal Musiala just trying to create a bit of separation to try and protect the ball. Was the ball rolling here? It was. It was pretty much in position. You can see Konrad Laimer in acres of space. Jonathan Tah, Jamal Musiala, Joshua Kimmich all fuming with that decision. 20 minutes plus stoppage time remains at the Allianz Arena. Second half has been a lot more calmer and both coaches will be slightly happy about that. Real Madrid pinched the ball here. Kylian Mbappe has got the pace. He's got terrific amounts of pace here. Now he's up against Tah. Here's Kylian Mbappe. It's Kylian Mbappe with the cutback. It's a chance. I'm very surprised Mbappe didn't go for goal. But Real Madrid on the attack here. Shot by Camavinga. Blocked by Upamecano. Kylian Mbappe, unselfish surprisingly there. I thought he was going to go low across the face of goal. And now Bayern Munich on the counter-attack here. Luis Diaz is 1v1 up against Eder Militao. It's Luis Diaz. Oh, it's poor by Luis Diaz. He's had a really poor game here. He's not had the impact that you were hoping for. He's got into some very good positions. But he's absolutely squandered some glorious opportunities. Here's Olise. Finds Joshua Kimmich. Now Dayot Upamecano. Real Madrid will continue to play on the counter-attack on the break. You can see the last 15 minutes, it's all been Bayern Munich in terms of possession, but Real Madrid are getting attacks here. Laimer with the ball across the face of goal. Cleared away by Militao. Throw in for Bayern Munich. 18 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Allianz Arena. Is there going to be another sting in the tail? It's so perfectly poised. Either side who get the next goal feel that they just might book their spot in the semi-finals up against Paris Saint-Germain. That is going to be a firecracker of a contest as well. There's Jamal Musiala. Finds Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich immediately closed down by Vinicius Jr. Dayup Mukano shifts it onto the right-hand side. Michael Olise tries to get away from Arda Güler. Good work there by the Turkish international to do his defensive duties. Here's Kimmich. Game on a knife's edge here. Who's going to hold their nerve right till the very end? Now down the left-hand side. Here's Kimmich again. He certainly has been the conductor for Bayern Munich in midfield. The regista. Here is Kimmich. Taking an age to make a decision here. I'm surprised that for all that he decides to go backwards. Bayern Munich trying to create a different angle here for the attack. Upamecano drives forward with the ball. Here's Olise now. Clever flick to Konrad Laimer. Olise looking to continue his run. That's a clear foul. Rudiger has to be very, very careful. He is on a yellow card and he needs to walk away. That is possibly his final warning. Joshua Kimmich just reminding the referee that Rudiger is on a yellow card. Just looks to nick that from Konrad Laimer. But cynical there by Rudiger, but that will certainly be his last warning. Olise now looking to deliver this ball into the box. Upamecano, after getting a bit of instructions from Kompany and the coaches, now makes his way into the box. Is this game going to be separated by a set piece? Olise delivers that brilliant ball in. Oh, terrific delivery. Upamecano's header off target. Phenomenal ball in there by Michael Olise. Look at the delivery on this. Upamecano has to score. He simply has to score. Having gotten there first, Lunin would have been absolutely hopeless there. Kompany knows that's a massive opportunity. Huge let off there for Real Madrid. Upamecano early in the first leg did have the opportunity to give Bayern Munich the lead, but couldn't get the connection and was cleared off the line. Now having I would say a better opportunity with a header from that closer range. Expected him to at least hit the target from there. Here's Musiala. Good work there by Eder Militao, showing good composure. And as I say that, he rolls that out of play. With 15 minutes plus stoppage time remaining at the Allianz Arena, this will go the distance by the looks of it. 4-4 on aggregate. Pavlovic and Kane for Bayern Munich. Mbappe and Arda Güler for Real Madrid, the goal scorers. And good football again by Bayern Munich. They keep playing these nice patterns, but they'll need to do a bit more in terms of the final product. Bayern Munich all but wrapping up Bundesliga, having another healthy lead against their always rivals in Dortmund. Here's Laimer, checks his run, waits for Olise to get back into position. Here is Michael Olise. He's got the overlap of Musiala, ignores him, decides to drift in field. Good feed by Olise to ride the challenge. Here's Kimmich. And now Pavlovic shifts it onto the left-hand side. Harry Kane looks to switch and switches it beautifully for Olise. Immediate chest control by the Frenchman. Here's Olise now, creates separation. It's Michael Olise again. Well, he's certainly lining up for the top corner finish. He's at 2 attempts. This time off target. Again, the way that Michael Olise creates separation is so special. You don't know whether or not he's going to shoot or stop on a dime. Lunin at full strength. Happy to see the ball crash against the roof of the net. It's still 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium. I mean, it's absolutely torturous from Arsenal fans' point of view, man. I mean, considering their run of form, heading into that all-important clash against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday. should be doing better. Good pass between the lines there by Upamecano. Here's Jamal Musiala driving forward. He's got plenty of runners here. Oh, that's a cynical foul by Camavinga. Had to take one for the team. It's a foul and a yellow card for Eduardo Camavinga. Musiala again just turns on the afterburners. Very, very cynical there by the number 6. Outpaced, outclassed. Free kick for Bayern Munich. But you can't say that Real Madrid have controlled anything in the second half. Kylian Mbappe did have the opportunity. This is dead central here for Joshua Kimmich. Don't think he'll be going for goal, especially with this angle and distance to goal. Expect him to chip the ball into the box, which he does. Cleared away by Militao. Mbappe's first touch. Doesn't go too far. There's a bit of a collision here. And Harry Kane is in the box. It's a massive opportunity. It's Harry Kane for Musiala. What a challenge that is by Jude Bellingham. It's last ditch, and that's certainly a foul by Pavlovic. That might be a yellow card as well for the German. Vinicius Jr. asking the question. Well, Kylian Mbappe tried to bring the ball down. Collides with the opposition, and it turns into a great chance. Kane has to hit this first time, man. Yep, Kimmich doesn't do too much wrong. He just lands on Mbappe. Ten minutes for stoppage time remain at the Allianz Arena. Still absolutely nothing to separate the two sides after the two legs. 4-4 on aggregate. Real Madrid turning it around at the Allianz Arena. Bayern would have started this off as favourites considering their journey throughout the Champions League campaign, finishing second in the group stage. Real Madrid having to do it through their playoffs where they got past Benfica and then, of course, getting the job done against Real Madrid in the round of 16. Certainly a hectic route to the final for Real Madrid if they are to get there, as Paris Saint-Germain awaits the winner of this tie. Kylian Mbappe, are you going to go back to your former club and haunt them? Kylian Mbappe versus Ousmane Dembele. The storyline, the script is all written, hasn't it? Yeah, but if Bayern Munich can nick a goal here, they might draw on the night. It would be enough to take them into the semi-finals up against Paris Saint-Germain in a repeat of the 2020 final, as Kimmich closed down by Eduardo Camavinga, the two number 6 on that occasion. Now Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. Keeps it short here for Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich here for Olise. Clever little touch there, but Real Madrid get rid of the ball, but not too far. It's all Bayern Munich in terms of possession now. Here's Pavlovic. Clever touch there by Olise. Now Konrad Lima, ball into the box here for the header. Brilliant by Eder Militao. How good is his box defending, man? He has to be careful. He's had a couple of ACL injuries. His knee is holding up there. He is a warrior, isn't he, Eder Militao? Good ball this by Konrad Lima. Towering header by Eder Militao. Here's Camavinga now. Clip pass there by Edouard Mendy. Arda Güler asking a lot out of Vinicius. Oh, that's a terrible touch there by Dayot Upamecano. Here's Vinicius Jr. Upamecano recovers well. Vinicius Jr. still protects the ball nicely here. We did see this in the first leg as well, where Dayot Upamecano's back header left it short. Vinicius Jr. could have very easily scored from that situation. This time his touch just gets away from him. Good work there by Dayot Upamecano to make sure that he did cover the spaces. Now Real Madrid, what do they have up their sleeve as we're heading into 7 minutes plus stoppage time here in the second half. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's pretty much pocketed Luis Diaz in this match. Luis Diaz not having the impact that he did in the first leg. Did open the scoring in the 41st minute, if my memory serves me right. Here's Alexander-Arnold to Kylian Mbappe. Trent again on the right hand side looks to deliver the ball into the box. Well defended by Bayern. They've got plenty of numbers. Camavinga recovers. That's exactly why he's on the pitch here. Valverde fades it to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Harry Kane, of all people, defending his own box. Good work there from Harry Kane. Bayern looking to play out the Real Madrid press. They do so pretty decently before Manuel Neuer decides to whack that forward. Eder Militao has to be careful as well. Like Rudiger, it's possibly their final warnings, both on yellow cards. Here's Jamal Musiala. Oh, chance here for Harry Kane with the strike. Deflection. It's cleared away by Rudiger. They want the foul. They're not going to get it. Yes, they will. But Bayern Munich keep getting into these excellent positions, but they're not able to find the finishing touches. Real Madrid once again defend with their bodies on the line. Camavinga showcasing why he's there. Rudiger making sure that Jamal Musiala couldn't get his shot away. Well, I think we have to be ready for another half an hour here. Five minutes plus stoppage time remain. The second half has been a chess match. Well, the first half was a basketball game. Who's taken a bit of a risk there. Good turn there by Fonzie. Alphonso Davies. Camavinga looks to nick the ball. Camavinga also has to be careful. Quite a few Real Madrid players on yellow cards. Will have to toe the line. Oh my goodness me. Eduardo Camavinga has been shown a red card. A second yellow for the Frenchman. Can you believe it? Camavinga, who was brought into the lineup in terms of bringing in a bit of security, he picks up his second yellow card. Shake of the head from him. It's a nightmare position from Real Madrid's point of view, because if this game heads into stoppage time, into extra time, they're going to be in real trouble now, down to 10. Well, the Real Madrid players are not convinced by the decision, but they'll have to move on from it. And now, Bayern Munich, with about 3.5 minutes plus stoppage time, have the incentive to go out there and finish Real Madrid off. Camavinga turned on that occasion. Need to have a look at the challenge again. Here's Kimmich now. Clip pass here for Lima. Good work there by Vinicius Jr. helping out defensively. And he gets fouled. I need to have a look at that Camavinga challenge again. Konrad Lima cannot believe that was judged as a foul. Let's have a look here. Oh, that is not a yellow card, man. That is not a yellow card challenge. Harry Kane. Is it because he threw the ball away? It is a shocking decision from the ref. I think Real Madrid have every reason to feel aggrieved here. Camavinga does not chuck the ball away as well. He just rolls that. I don't know why the referee feels that he needs to have a main character syndrome here. He has killed Real Madrid. Now Bayern Munich have it all in their hands. Well, Franco Mastantuono's going to come on by the looks of it. Certainly an interesting move by Alvaro Arbeloa, bringing on the Argentine. They need some defensive reinforcements though, as Bayern Munich will be piling on the pressure if this game does go into extra time. Here's Pavlovic to Alphonso Davies. Real Madrid once again with their box defending. Here's Leimer. Decent touch again. Good movement from Bayern Munich. Musiala to Luis Diaz on the left-hand side. Under 2 minutes remaining. Here's Luis Diaz. Creates separation. Luis Diaz! Top bins! It is sensational from the Colombian. And with 90 seconds remain, Bayern Munich once again get their noses in front on aggregate. A sensational strike from Luis Diaz, who's been on the periphery of things, now turns into the difference maker. Oh my goodness me. He has found the top corner in sensational fashion. 3-3 on the night, 5-4 on aggregate. Real Madrid down to 10 men. Now we'll have to go gung-ho and try and get the equalizer on aggregate now. Kylian Mbappe with the shake of the head. Vinicius Jr. clapping the officials. This could get really ugly from a Real Madrid point of view. What a strike this is from Luis Diaz. They were very patient in the build-up. Look at this from Luis Diaz. Oh my goodness me. To find the top pins from there. Oh yes. It is special from Luis Diaz. Jamal Musiala with the back heel. Luis Diaz, it takes a slight deflection. Brilliant finish. And Bayern Munich are stoppage time away from booking their spot in the semi-finals. 3-3 on aggregate. Manny, it has been an incredible game. The second half has not kind of mirrored the first. And soon after Eduardo Camavinga picked up that second yellow card, Bayern Munich felt that everything was in their favour. They did not want to take this game into extra time as Luis Diaz gets the job done. This is what the Champions League is all about. Luis Diaz scoring his 6th goal in the Champions League. None more important. And as it stands, Kylian Mbappe will not face his former side as Franco Mastantuono comes on for Arda Güler. Well, Manny Arsenal are putting on an absolute bore fest at the Emirates. I think they might be through as Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal. That will be the Haram Ball special. Well, I'll certainly be cheering for Cholo Simeone and his men. As it stands, it's going to be Bayern Munich versus Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid in this season's Champions League semi-finals. The road to Budapest now with 4 teams remaining here. Do Real Madrid have it in them to try and pull something out of the bag here? Oh, what a curious pass there by Manuel Neuer. Well, Arsenal are through. Well, I'm happy the Arsenal fans watched that shit show compared to this absolute classic here. Bayern Munich looking to add yet another goal would be a cushion at this stage. They're running out of time. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Arda Güler both coming off here. Time certainly running out. That second yellow card for Eduardo Camavinga was criminal from the referee's point of view. I mean, that was never a second yellow card. He needs to use a bit more common sense, understand the gravity of the game. Instead, he decides to be the main character. Gives a second yellow card for Eduardo Camavinga. Real Madrid will certainly feel aggrieved. Unless they can pull out something special now. We've got 2 minutes of stoppage time to try and turn things around here. This has been a Champions League classic. Relentless stuff from minute 1 to minute 90. It has kept you on the edge of your seats. Full credit to these two teams, man. The quality that we have seen. Real Madrid on the counter-attack. Bayern in terms of control. Beautiful. Here's Vinicius Jr. now. Real Madrid need a moment of magic. Kylian Mbappe, can he drag his team some way, somehow into the semi-finals? Now Harry Kane picks his head up and now finds Luis Diaz. And now Bayern Munich on the counter-attack, looking to add the finishing touches here. Clever. Oh, that's a poor pass there by Luis Diaz. But more importantly, the ball is away from goal. Well, Real Madrid's season is crumbling here. 9 points behind Barcelona in La Liga. And as it stands, it will be Atletico Madrid who fly the Spanish flag in the Champions League in the Final Four. No Barcelona, no Real Madrid. And Cholo Simeone, it's up to you to try and knock out Arsenal. Final minute of stoppage time here. Desperation time for Real Madrid's point of view. Konrad Laimer wins the ball there, but it's a foul according to the referee. And the Real Madrid fans looking very sullen. Having made the trip to Munich, they would have been in hope, and after Arda Güler gave them the dream start in the very first minute, it's all gone wrong as Jude Bellingham looks to scoop the ball. He slightly overhits that. Jonathan Tah gets the header away. 30 seconds remain here. Luis Diaz just needs to run for the hills now. Diaz does exactly that. Very clever pass as well. And now Harry Kane shifts it onto the right-hand side. Michael Elise, Bayern Munich have the ball exactly where they want him. Michael Elise looking to add the finishing touches. Oh, yes! Michael Elise adds the seal to the match in sensational fashion. Curls that into the corner, and Bayern Munich booked their spot in this season's Champions League semi-final. Michael Elise has been threatening to find the top corner. He does so with the very last kick of the match. Bayern Munich win the match. They win both ties in the first and the second leg. 4-3 on the night, 6-4 on aggregate, as Alvaro Arbeloa's men have been hit with two heavy sucker punches right towards the end. Well, Bayern Munich, in terms of possession, territory and shots, will feel that they deserve this one. It has been magnificent from Elise. Don't remind me, Manny, please. Don't remind me of what Chelsea could and could not have. I think the referee might have blown the full-time whistle. The Real Madrid players are all charging towards the referee here. Kylian Mbappe's dreams of the Champions League ends. Yet another season without the Champions League for one of the best players in the world. He will not face his former side as Bayern Munich get the job done right towards the end. Elise adds the seal right towards the end. A cracking contest here. 7 goals on the night as Jude Bellingham and everybody else are going to pick up a lot of fines, suspensions and bookings. On the camera pans to Kylian Mbappe, who did score the 3rd goal for Real Madrid, but it just turns out to be a step too far. It has been absolutely brilliant. What a game. The red cards are flowing now. Arda Güler has picked up a red card. He's going to miss next season's first game as well. No surprises that the tempers are boiling. Real Madrid will feel hard done by after Eduardo Camavinga, for some reason, picked up a 2nd yellow card. Bayern Munich didn't care. Luis Diaz found the corner, and then Michael Elise right with the last kick of the game, putting the seal to what has been one of the best ties you'll see this season in the Champions League. Full time at the Allianz Arena. Bayern Munich 4, Real Madrid 3.